Okay, or if you're ready, you can, well, the lights are blinking, so, and we're on, the sound is on, good. Okay, I still show 6:59 on this clock here. I show 7 o'clock on my phone.
Yeah, it's 7 o'clock.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I'd like to call our meeting to order and ask, well, we'll do, the roll call we do is go around and introduce ourselves and the taxing body that we're part of for the viewing audience. And Jim, let's start with you. Yes.
Jim Palatine, Darien Woodridge Fire Protection District.
Kathy Abate, Downers Grove Township.
Marion Krupika, Indian Prairie Public Library and trustee.
Ray Jablonski, Darien Park District Commissioner.
And Mayor Kathleen Weaver with the City of Darien. Welcome to all of you. And I would like to start out by asking for the approval of the February 3rd, 2015 minutes. Do I have a motion to approve? Jim, were you able to even to see them?
Oh, minutes? Yes, I did.
Yeah, oh, good. Okay. All right. I'd like to ask for a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
I'll
Motion
second.
made by Kathy Abate, seconded by Ray Jablonski. Any additions or deletions to this, the minutes? Okay. It's sometimes, do we even remember? It was February, but I think they're broad enough that we could figure out what they meant. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, very good. Typically, we go over events that are happening within our own taxing bodies, and why don't we start out there with Ray, do you want to start?
For the Darien Park District, our farmers market will start June 10th at Westwood Park, and it will run every Wednesday from 3 p.m. until 7 p.m.
Which park are you at this time?
We're at Westwood.
You're changing to Westwood.
Yes, so that the parking situation on 71st Street doesn't develop like it did last year. So
There was some oopses along the way on that one. Yeah, I'm afraid. Yes, wait, that's, Ray, I think that's a good move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll also be having our movies in the park, both at Darien Community Park. First one is Friday, June 26th at 8:45 p.m., and it's Night at the Museum, Secret of the Tomb. And the second one is Friday, July 24th at 8:30 p.m., and it's Big Hero 6. Our concerts in the park this year both will be at Darien Community Park. First one is Saturday, July 18th at 7 p.m., and it's Flashback 45. And the second one is it's Saturday, August 22nd at 7 p.m., the Mason Rivers Band, and this one is sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce.
Excellent. Good. Okay, Mary, you got anything you want to share?
Just two quick things. We have started, this is our first year, a seed library, kind of expanding the idea of what the library can offer. And this just started April 18th. Library members will be able to borrow seeds from the seed library to grow at home. Hopefully this will encourage seeing how plants grow, and then collect the seeds and bring them back to the library. So it's something we're trying new this year. And also keep your eyes open for the summer reading program, which will begin at the end of May.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Kathy, got anything special going? How are you doing on that? You were looking to do some recycling or garbage pickup?
Well, the garbage proposal is being worked on as we speak. So we've got a couple meetings underway with our leaders of our communities, some of the civic organizations, and we have yet to put together a request for proposal. There's lots of input. We haven't put one together yet. There's a lot of concern that some people aren't going to get what they had, and that they don't have the option to opt out. That's a very big issue. So we're hoping that once we submit to bid and we get the proposals back, we've got choices, and we've got good choices. We've told them over and over again, if all the choices are not good, we won't proceed, because we just won't. Why would we force something on the people that they don't want? But I'm anticipating good offers. Darien does it, and we have no problem with our garbage, as far as I know. My garbage pickup is perfect. I don't have a problem at all. I don't know what you hear in Darien, but it's contracted under one hauler, and I don't know if you hear any feedback that's negative from you or no. Yeah.
No, and we've got such a good relationship with the hauler that if there is an issue, they immediately go out and handle it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we're hoping we can work the same thing through, but again, no guarantees, so we're still working on it. We don't anticipate this coming to resolution until towards the end of the year, though, because we want to make sure we do it right. We don't want to ram it down anybody's throat. We know there's concerns, so we want to make sure that it's not
So
forced
Kathy,
upon
yeah,
them.
you're working with community groups to work out, the
Yes.
concept?
Yes,
Okay.
all the unincorporated areas have leaders, and some areas don't have leaders. So we're trying. There's like 19 or 20 different people from all over the place trying to give us their input, and some are very stern. And the big one, like I said, is this opt-out provision. That if they don't have a choice to say they don't want it, then they don't want it. So
Wow, so what, they would contract with their own waste hauler?
I guess, and we've already told them, they're worried that we're going to come after them. I said, well, don't worry about that. We're not going to come after you. We're just going to try and get the best hauler we can, contract them out. But if we can't get one that's agreeable to almost everyone, then why do it? We're not going to do it.
yeah.
Then just figure it out yourself.
Yeah.
But by and large, most people are amenable to having one waste hauler. They think we think we can get a better price. We think we'll have one truck on the street as opposed to 10, perhaps.
Yeah.
We think it's but we don't know.
Okay.
All we know is and I told them over and over again, we're not making any money on this. This is not something that we want to do because we think, we're going to get a cut or nothing.
No,
We're
that's
only
not
trying
happens,
to,
yeah.
to help the people.
Yeah.
And if they don't want it, we'll back off.
Yeah,
But we'll see.
Yeah.
It's still being worked on.
okay.
Now, second thing, May 30th is our open house. We have an open house every year. It's a Saturday from
May 30th?
May 30th, Saturday from, I think it's either 10 or 11 a.m. to 2. It's at our township offices, Downers Grove Township, 4340 Prince Street. We have our highway commissioner do hot dogs and grill out in the back. And then we have inside little booths of what the township does. And they can come visit, ask questions, meet our elected officials, meet our staff. We have the sheriff there. We do little things for the kids. So it's kind of an open house, popcorn, food, beverages. Spend your lunchtime there. And now we're going to do it in May. We've done it in March, where it's a little colder. We're hoping that the weather will be better. We can be a little bit outside, inside, kind of meander around. So get to know your township officials on May 30th. That should be good. And then one last thing I did notice in the Darien, the book we get every month or so.
The Neighbors magazine?
The Neighbors magazine. It's a great book, by the way. But I did notice in the recycling section, they don't mention anything about what the township does for electronic recycling. So I called someone up over there to elaborate that once a month, on the third Saturday of the month in Westmont, our highway commissioner, for free, you can bring all of your electronic recyclables to this location, and they take them. So that's what we've been doing. It's been very successful. We have tons and tons of stuff getting recycled every month.
Okay, who did you contact? You contacted Neighbors?
The Neighbors.
Oh, okay.
Yes, just the other day.
Okay.
Just the other day.
All right, so when is this recycling? You said it's
just
every?
the third Saturday of every month. Now, if it happens to be a holiday weekend, it's skipped. But it's the third Saturdays. I think it's next week. It's the 16th, 15th, 16th of May. I believe that's the
30.
third Saturday. Is that
The 16th.
then that's the one.
Okay.
So it's 8 to 12. You can bring all your recyclables there. And they, like I said, and it's in Westmont. It's at the Highway Commissioner's location where the trucks are. 318 Quincy in Westmont.
Okay, that's right where the chicken place is. You turn
Yes,
east.
right there. Exactly right there.
Okay.
So it's right over there. So everybody in Downers Grove and Downers Grove Township, they're all welcome to bring their stuff.
Okay.
So, and it's free. Now, I think there's been some discussion of perhaps accepting a donation. It hasn't been enforced. But we're talking about it, but that's
Okay.
minor. So
Okay. Out of curiosity, do you make money off of the recycling? That
No.
who is the vendor that you bring in to take away the electronics that you collect?
I'm not sure who the vendor is. That's
Safeway?
yeah. I'd have to ask Andy Anderson that.
Okay.
I just know that it costs us because we obviously have to have staff there taking it and receiving it. We pay them
Yeah.
obviously to do it.
Yeah.
But we're not making any money on it. But I'm not sure the vendor. I could find out and let you know.
I was fascinated. There's a place in Romeoville. I think they have a Romeoville address called Vintage Recycling, and I went on a tour of that place. They take in computers, mostly computers and televisions, and they refurbish them. If they can't refurbish them, they take them apart and sell each the items that are valuable for money. But then they rebuild them and send them off to third world countries. It was a fascinating. It was just an unbelievable experience to see what they can do with old computers and televisions and whatnot. So I was just curious if they're the vendor that you use.
Don't know, and I'm going to
Okay.
find out. I'll let you know
Yeah.
next meeting.
Yeah.
I'm curious myself.
Yeah,
because
I
I'm not
haven't
sure.
checked lately to see if vintage recycling is still in business, but it was quite the operation.
Okay, good.
So Jim, got any events going on at your,
Well, just our usual, I think it's interesting, our usual board meeting. So I don't know if everybody knows, we meet, and it's open to the public the third Wednesday of every month. We start at 6:30, and it's at the main fire station. So we encourage all the taxpayers to show up, anyone that's in our district, and they can ask questions, find out about what's going on. This next meeting that we're having let's see, today is Tuesday, in 2 weeks, since that'll be the third Wednesday, we're going to start at 6 o'clock. It's going to be an interesting meeting. We're going through our budget. And we're going to approve our budget for this year. So now's the time to ask questions about the budget and go and see how our budgeting process works. It's pretty interesting. So we will have a balanced budget again this year. So that's the great news. Also, I'd like to reiterate that our fire stations, if we try and go back to the old way of the local fire station, when you walk by or you drive by, you see the door open, stop by, talk to the firefighters, talk to the paramedics, because you may need them someday, and you can at least get to know who they are. So we're always open. We have tours and stuff for Cub Scout packs or Boy Scout packs, Boy Scout troops, I should say. So if you want to set something up, the firefighters really love it. I mean, it helps us more than it helps the citizens, because it's a lot of fun for them to take especially Cub Scouts throughout the fire station. And we've got some pretty neat equipment now. We have ambulances that pick you up and put you in the back by itself, which is a good saver as far as the backs of firefighters trying to pick up some of us that are a little more average than the regular people. Okay, so stop by anytime. And the only other thing I'd like to say is we're going to have our annual open house. We always have it in October, probably around the first week. We haven't picked the date yet, but that's a great time. So as soon as we solidify the date, I'll let you know. And we put on, they start stuff on fire, and you watch the firefighters do that. They put the ladder up that extends 105 feet straight up, and then we have we try and pick the oldest firefighter we have, and he runs up the ladder with the hose. No, we actually pick one of our younger guys. They actually do run up that ladder 105 feet straight up, and that's our newest ladder truck that we purchased about 3 years ago. And they put on an actual show of how to rip apart cars. They use all the equipment, and it's going to be in October, and it's a great time. So be there or be square.
yeah. And do we have any buildings that are 100 feet tall in the area that
see,
you would service?
That was one of the questions. No, we don't, but we're prepared. But a lot of times you have to be off at the street and go to a building, and the ladder extends 100 feet, so you
Oh.
need to get to maybe a 6th floor of someplace.
Okay.
So
So it could be from a
could
distance
be,
that
and
you're
plus
reaching out.
it's for the future. Since it's a new truck, we anticipate at least getting 15 years out of it, if not more. So, and it's a big financial investment. So,
Yeah.
so we don't have any buildings that tall unless you've got something we don't know about.
Well,
but I'm
that's
sure-
why I thought, do you have something we don't know about?
No, but but you do need that when you're going a lengthways.
Okay.
So.
Now, you brought some fun things about wanting to have groups come in to tour.
Yes.
Do you advertise it on your website?
On the website, I don't think there's specifically an item on the website that talks about giving tours to
Okay.
Cub Scout packs
Yeah,
and all
so
that. That might be a good thing to add.
And you know that we have Direct Connect, and
Yes.
it's available to all the organizations to,
Okay.
if you want to advertise a special event, you can get the information to our staff, and they would put it on our Direct Connect, which goes out every Friday, and advertises things that are going on in the community. So,
Okay.
Jim, let your staff know that they are always welcome to do that. So, we haven't done an open house in a while, so we might have to get back to doing that. But it's good to hear you guys, all of you are doing open house, both of you are doing open houses, so that's good news. Since we don't have anyone else to ask what they're doing, I guess we'll go right into the big issue that I wanted to discuss this evening was the town hall. The first town hall meeting we had in 2013, we had a great turnout. Then last year wasn't so hot. And I know that we talked about, what can we do different. But now we had, Claire and I were talking about some ideas. She feels that she wants to get back to the state of the city, the mayor doing the state of the city in front of the chamber. And so we're planning on doing that again, going back to that in May. We're probably going to switch to May, unless we do something together on the town hall with both groups. But that would be one separate thing. Or we also talked about combining the state of the city and the town hall at a chamber luncheon, but that would mean, elected officials would have to come to the luncheon and set up the booths at the luncheon, and it would be a lot more expanded event. It wouldn't be, the chamber luncheons in the state of the city is it's lunch and then they, I speak and then they're gone. So this would be a little bit longer period of time. But what do you think about that idea of doing it in the afternoon as opposed to the evening that we've done? Or do you think we should stick to the evening town hall meeting that we have been doing? My gut feeling is that we have to continue doing it, because I think the participation will increase if we stay at it and we keep doing it and advertise, and each year try to advertise it better than we did before. Just some thoughts. We found, I'll just ask for your opinions on that information so far. What do you think about combining them into the state of the city and the town hall at the same time?
Would it be open to the public? So would we have
Yes.
residents be able to show up for lunch, pay for a lunch?
Yes.
Is that the kind of thing?
That's exactly what we were thinking about. Do you think we would limit the audience if we did that? I mean, I'm looking for your advice on that.
Well, anybody who's working would
I-
either have to take the day
Day
off
off, yeah.
or not be able to attend
Mm-hmm.
or participate. So for that reason, I'm personally thinking we should
Stick with the
stick
evening?
with the evening.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think I've had a feeling that would be the way the group felt. And we had come up with the date of September 24th. We were talking about that date even at our last meeting, September 24th. And Claire checked into some locations, and she and I were just brainstorming, and we thought that, we'd used Chuck's last time, and we were in that big room, and boy, it was too big for us. So she called the library. Yes, and September 24th is open for the library. They have a large room upstairs, and it would be a smaller venue, but then again, that might not be bad. So what's your thoughts on changing it to a location there? We could still tape it just like we do, just like we do now.
No problem with
I could walk there.
that. It works for you, huh, right?
Well, I think too, you get people who kind of combine trips, I'm going to go to the library anyway, so then I'll stop in at the meeting, and sometimes we'll announce it even before the meeting. Anybody who's a Darien resident would like to come, so you get people who are already in the library,
Would come upstairs, yeah.
just come upstairs.
We might get more people that way, because that's really the key, bringing the people into
Yeah.
into the
Yeah.
group, because we didn't have that last year.
No, and the reason I think we brought out so many people in 2013 is because, what we call Darien Point now was a hot issue, and now it's not a hot issue.
So
So-
would we do the state of the city combine it with taxing bodies also at the library, perhaps? Is that what you're suggesting?
No,
Oh, just
no, because the chamber members are typically they're not all Darien residents.
Oh, right.
So they are, the business owners in town, so they are not necessarily Darien residents. So we would have to keep it as the luncheon. And, Claire and I were talking about doing the State of the City in May, but you know what? If I have to, I might do the chamber luncheon on the same day, September 24th in the afternoon in the town hall that evening. But, that's still, that's a separate issue and still under discussion. So, okay, so you guys are on board. You think that's an okay location for it?
I think so.
Okay. Okay.
I think, though, you should still, as the mayor, give a little more of a state of the city. I think we didn't have that last year, and we had it the previous year. We had more people when they come to these things. I mean, I'm from the township, and you guys all are from your other taxing bodies, but a lot of people want to know about Darien, and Kathy's the mayor, and I think you should carve out yourself some time and talk about Darien.
Yeah,
mean,
I like the idea of having the representative from all the taxing bodies come forward like we did. I thought that was good,
Yeah.
but maybe not right away. What do you think? And I think the smaller, well, the smaller room might be good for this. For doing a short little State of the City and then have everyone join us.
Right. Would you still want to do the tables with booths, or just have everyone come and just speak 5 minutes on whatever they do in their taxing body?
I still like the booth idea. What do you guys think?
As long as there's room.
Yeah, it'll be close.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's still room to do it.
And there's the big hallway.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. You could, the booths could be set up in the hallway too. Yeah. I know the fire protection districts brought some big equipment with them that time, televisions.
I wasn't aware of it, but okay.
Yeah.
Well, we will leave the trucks back.
No, I think it was a TV. I don't know if it was you or Tri-State brought in that, but, okay. All right, so we're going to have to start advertising this right away. So I'm going to have Lynn Dubman. I would assume all of your taxing bodies will be definitely involved in this. Okay, and so I'll have her reach out to the other taxing bodies that aren't here this evening to confirm that they're going to participate too. And we'll start right away advertising it. And we will. I will do that. I will do the state. Do a little State of the City presentation.
I think people would be genuinely interested,
Yeah.
and that draws. And then, not that we don't draw, but the Darien first, and then we're part of that, obviously.
Yeah. Okay.
We roll up under you.
Yeah. Very good. All right. So that was easy. I didn't. Any other thoughts on how we can better promote this?
Can we offer food?
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I know. I think that was something we. Well, the drinks didn't go over at all
No.
at Chuck's.
Well,
That just
that was a bar, though. That was cash bar, right? Wasn't it?
I don't know. I never went over there.
it was.
I think it was. So you think that was deterred?
We could offer like maybe cookies and soda or water or
Okay.
coffee. I don't know.
Okay.
But not charge. Can we do that? I
Well,
don't know.
I will ask my city council, and I hope they will agree.
People always like a little something. Just saying.
Okay, refreshments.
Refreshments. there you go.
Refreshments is yeah, I think that has been a topic before,
But I think too, I think the taxing bodies all had little things on their tables, I think.
Giveaways, you had
Little
giveaways, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I think, you know, is kind of fun. People-
Yeah. I was at District 61 on Friday. They had a career day. It was so cute. They had 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, and before all of the adults came to do their presentations, they signed up for whatever classroom and subject matter they wanted to go see. So I was in room 55. Mrs. Petey is the teacher in that classroom. And it's a hoot because she and I taught school together. The first year she ever taught school up on the north side. But at any rate, one of my classes happened to come in, and they'd all just been at the Baird and Warner Realtors location. It was it was Beth Tischler, and she brought balls. So they come into my class to listen to me as mayor, and they're throwing balls and bouncing balls all over the place. So it was real interesting. Yes. Yeah, so don't bring those to your presentation. So, other thoughts on ways to advertise this? We still have, before schools get out, we still have a month to go where they could start advertising it. How about you guys? What can you do? I guess we need to get the flyer together, huh?
You put it on our websites.
I think the fact that it's at the library is going to be, we should have a good turnout because everybody goes to the library. And if you got the signs up a little bit ahead of time, I mean, certainly we should get it out there now, but, closer to the event, you're going to have half the town see it within a week or two of it coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think it's a good idea. Okay, so the advertisement, I'll ask Claire to give all those logos to my staff so they can get the advertisement. And we'll put a little blurb in there about a state of the city too, besides just the presentation. So, very good.
So we'll do a presentation from each taxing body, or is it question and answer? How do you want to format it?
Good. That's what I'm looking for from how do you think we should format? Should I start? We'll start out with the state of the city, and then I think we would, like we have in the past, we've always solicited questions from people ahead of time, which I think we should still do.
But should we have each taxing body give a 2-minute, here's who I am, this is what we do, any questions? Or should we just go right into questions?
We
based
didn't do that, did we, the last time?
think
We
so.
didn't do a little
It was just an
presentation.
introduction, if I remember right. They introduced themselves as.
And that was it. They didn't
Yeah,
talk too much about what they
right,
do.
Right. So I don't know if we should incorporate a 5-minute blurb from each of us on what we do and, what we offer.
I think it's a very good idea.
Yeah. Because not everybody walks around to the booths. I mean, some people do, some people don't. Some people just come and listen. If they listen to what each taxing body has to say, if it's 5 minutes, as long as it's no more than a few minutes, because you've got several of us, you don't want to take up a long time. You want to just do a synopsis, summary,
Okay.
and then questions. But even that's going to take a while, though.
There'll be 10 of us. There'll be 10 taxis.
Yeah,
I
so
was
you
just gonna
really can't go
say.
more than 5 minutes or 2 minutes, but you do have to say something. You just can't say, "Hi, I'm Kathy Abatian with the township." I think you got to say a little more than that.
Yeah.
You can say quite a bit in 2 minutes.
That's true.
You could. I think you'd have to have it prepared.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Make it 2-minute speech if possible.
Because that's already going almost a half hour when you really,
Yeah, and we've allowed some time up front for people to visit the booths.
Yeah.
Should we keep that, or should we go right into a presentation? And then have them wander afterwards?
Well, how much time, do you remember how much time we allotted last year at the booths?
Half hour, was it?
I was cleaning out my folder here, and I only have, here, okay. This is last year's. 7 to 9. The time was 7 to 9, but I don't remember how long before we did the, you got it, good.
7:15 to 7:45 was visit the tables. And then we had a panel discussion supposedly for an hour, but I think it ended sooner. We ran out of questions.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, okay, so we opened the doors at 7?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Ah, I see what we did. Yeah, I don't think that flowed very well, when I think about it. You know, first we draw their attention to the speakers up front, and then we disperse them. That doesn't seem like a good way to do it. I wonder if we should start out with visiting the tables, then do that
Right.
Right.
introductory thing, yeah.
And
Start,
last year, there were questions on 75th Street
mm-hmm.
and on the ash trees.
Right.
Yep, and yes, and there was some residents from Ward 6, which has, it has its own park district issues over there. There were questions on that. Okay, so we're gonna have visiting the tables as soon as they walk in.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so then why don't we start the program at 7:30 instead?
Yeah.
And I will make sure I have a very streamlined, and I think a streamlined state of the city. Well, Claire is going to want to do the Pledge of Allegiance, and she had that young woman, Downers Grove South sophomore sing the national anthem. Okay. Okay, I'm going to leave that with you, so you keep that for your records.
So you'll do your state of the city for a few minutes, and then each of us will do 2 minutes, and then after that, go back and do questions to each and all of us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
that'll take up quite a bit of time.
And, you know, and I'm just thinking that what we could do is, you know, I'm going to lead, Claire will probably do her thing, have somebody sing the national anthem to kick off the meeting. And I can just be the person up front to do a state of the city. And then each individual taxing body person will come up, you know, one after the other to speak. Say a few minutes, go back to their place, the next person come up. What do you think about that? Instead of having that whole table up front.
Right,
And then you would go
right.
back to your tables, your
Right.
stations, and
Takes up less space.
and then questions, and then we can address them right to the taxing body that's still in the room. What do you think about that? Or do you think we should have the table up front?
Well, the only problem would be if the tables are all scattered all over and there's a question, do they have to come back up to the front to get a mic?
But that's okay. I mean,
Miriam, you know the library better than I do. Do they have multiple microphones that they could share?
I can check, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
mean,
I
if the
understand.
Question, and that's okay, but then if they ask a question and the person's way in the back, that'll take up time by the time they walk up to the
can
front.
all of the 10 taxing body representatives stand towards just stand
Sure,
at the front?
Sure,
So
yeah,
if the question's directed to Ray just steps up to them.
yeah. That's easily done.
I hate to take up a whole table
Yeah.
of just people sitting there when you don't really need, when you got all the booths all around the room.
I'm envisioning that room, and
It's it's more of a long
Yeah, but it's
room
not a
than
real
a
big room.
square room.
mm-hmm, right.
But we can set it up anyway. I mean, we can look into that. How best to set the tables up.
And we're just going to have, I guess the key will be smaller areas for presentations. Each taxing body will have a smaller area to. Okay, all right. So that brings up. Okay, we've got some good ideas here. Some real good ideas. This brings up some dates for the next meeting because September rolls around awfully fast, and I think this is our last meeting for the summer. Don't you think? Did we get together? I just put all the minutes together, so I know exactly when we met, we met in August last year, just to, you know, confirm all the details for the town hall meeting.
I was just thinking too, you'll want the taxing body to decide maybe by a certain time as to who will be the presenter. I mean, that can change if something comes up, but, you know, they'll have to decide amongst themselves who will be the presenter.
Okay, look, all right, we met, I'm looking at August dates right now. And we have to focus always on the first Tuesday of each month, because we could put it off till September, but that runs into, Labor Day is September 7th this year. So we have the first Tuesday in September is September 2nd. Is that too late? Or should we stick with August?
The August date.
August 4th.
Fourth is better for me.
Yeah. We can try it. We can see what happens. And
Yeah, the only people that might have a problem with that is anybody who's got kids in school, because the first week in August is the only week any varsity athlete that can go on vacation,
Yeah.
because your summer season ends at the end of July, and then you gotta be at school the second week in August for, you know, practice and stuff.
for practice starting up again.
I think the high school's starting earlier so that they finish before winter break.
Well, we'll put it down.
Yeah.
We'll give it a shot. The initiatives meeting will be August 4th.
If it's a bus, we move it to September.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's exactly what we'll have to do. But in the meantime, we will try to stay connected over the details of, and all of you are the ones that will be the contacts for all of your taxing bodies, so you will be able to provide all of the information to my staff and Claire as to what you need and what you're envisioning. Jim, yes?
Taxing body, why not supplemental income?
Supplemental.
That'd be a nice, better word than tax.
I'm always searching for a better
Yeah,
term.
it's something appropriate. You know.
Yeah, I'm always searching.
Miscellaneous income.
What
Service
are we?
providers.
Service providers?
Taxing.
Okay, I know.
Even
I
I
know.
wouldn't show up.
yeah. Well, but people are interested. They pay taxes. They want to know what they get for their money.
Oh,
I was
boy,
just trying
we
to be
hear about it
politically
all the
correct.
time.
So,
Well, last
And then
year,
we point fingers at everybody else.
last year we blew up my home tax thing.
That's right,
had to-
yes,
Which was kind of interesting.
yeah. I know, well, it is what it is, and don't you hate that term?
Yeah.
I can't believe I just said it, and I just lost that thing again.
It is what it is.
It is
Sure,
what it
good.
is.
I mean,
Good.
But at any rate, there it is. Yeah, you don't want to point fingers at other taxing bodies, but, that's the way it is. And they have, they can say that, they don't have the avenues of revenue that, like the city of Darien has. We have so many options for revenue as opposed to school districts.
Right.
They got the property tax and then the state, the state. And we're all waiting to see what happens with Springfield because, I don't know, have you guys talked about how much you would lose? We would lose $1 million if the rounder cuts go through. Yeah. So you wouldn't be
a
affected.
couple grants that we lose, but they're so small, we don't even think that would happen.
Yeah, we're talking, that's what the assessment that we've had. And by the way, that fund, that IMET fund, that has been in the news a lot lately about a lot of municipalities lost money in that. We have very wise treasurer. We pulled out our money a long time ago, so we have lost nothing in that. Were you guys in the IMET, that fund?
No, I don't think we lost anything.
Yeah,
No, we're fighting other battles.
really.
Well, sure. I think the battle that's going on now is all this whole thing about consolidation. You know, it's a hobgoblin of small minds.
Well, you know what? It's reality, Jim, when you get
Well,
down to it,
costs more.
because,
I mean, it costs more, it's gonna raise taxes for everyone, and cut service. I mean, to me, it doesn't make much sense, but that's just me. An old business guy who did very well, who knows business.
are you retired?
I've been retired for 15 years, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
16 years.
Okay, okay.
So, it just makes no sense without proper studying, just to say it. I mean, obviously, consolidation has done very well for the federal government, hasn't it?
Well, we hope that whenever they talk about consolidation, that a great deal of study goes into it, yes.
Oh, it
yes.
definitely. Are we recorded?
Yes, we are.
Oh, okay, so then I won't tell you my personal opinions, but I do have personal opinions.
Yeah.
Who wants to don't tell me who.
Well, I think it's a big,
Fire protection
there's a
districts,
big
yes.
consolidation move on for all fire districts
All fire districts.
Yeah.
within the state, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree
And
with you.
sometimes it makes sense and sometimes it doesn't. You just can't rush into things and automatically say it's good. Well, everything isn't good, not all the time.
Well, they, recently, a few mosquito abatement districts have been eliminated. And if you examine that, it was a smart move to get rid of them, because all they had an office, they were collecting taxes, and they had an office, and that was it, you know.
Unless you're a real service organization, and then you're gonna use the same amount of services anyway. And it's just basic administrative overhead that you may be able to cut down. But when when your administration is actually is also your doers, I find it hard to understand where your savings come in without proper understanding and studying and see
that's the
exactly
important
what
thing.
you're gonna save and what you're going to eliminate. And if any service is gonna go more expensive, or you're gonna give less service. I mean, that's always the trade-off. And then what you're willing to pay for it. I mean, it's like I always say, if you tell me, right now we have our goals and our measurements of how long it takes to get our ambulances from the time we get the call to the time it's out the door, we try to shoot for a minute, and we usually make it. And if you tell me you want to cut it down to 15 seconds, I'll say I can do that. I'll just put on 17 more ambulances and position them all around and have them rolling stock all the time, and but does that make sense? No, it doesn't make any sense. You're not willing to pay for that. I wouldn't blame you. But if
Lots
you
of
say,
study.
But if you say, hey, we have certain number of lives we save, and we had one that I just found out about at I think Walmart, where we actually had somebody pronounced dead that they brought back. They call it I'm learning all the jargon from the firefighters. They call it a save, and to me that's phenomenal. But 10 seconds would have made the difference. I mean, if it would have been 10 seconds later, the person would not have survived. So that's when you do it that way, and you say, well, how much is that worth to you? That's worth everything. But
So we just hope that whoever's, when all of this discussion is going on, and I know that the governor has put together a committee to do exactly this, to look at consolidation. He's given the job to the lieutenant governor, Evelyn Sanguinetti. That is her job, to investigate and look into consolidation.
that was one of the
So,
things I did in business. I consolidated companies,
yeah.
and
So you know, there's a value.
I know how
Yeah,
to do
there's a
it,
value in
yes.
doing that.
I did it
So-
for 40 years, so it's a lot of fun.
Well, okay, I think we've covered everything, and we have a date for our next meeting, which is August 4th at 7 PM here. So then I'd just like to ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Jim
I'll
Palatine,
second.
seconded by Ray Jablonski. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. thank you very much for making the effort to be here this evening.
Cool.
And Marion, thank you for taking the minutes.
I will type them up and get them to her.
Yep, yeah, you can send it to Lynn.
We're all good.
I feel like I'm in
I sent
school.
it to
You
Lynn.
pass